As a father and grandfather whose children, I believe, are still in the Middle Tennessee area, many of them.
Yes.
You must still have education as a passion and something you follow. It's been a huge push for Democratic Governor Phil Bredesen
Yes.
and the 105th General Assembly
Yes.
to improve the pre-K program,
Absolutely.
the kindergarten, and all of the education system. Are they doing a good enough job?
Well, I think they've made some substantial progress, and I think you'd have to give them substantially good marks for what's being done and what I think will be done as we go down the road. You know, something unique happened just last year that I take some pride in. For the first time in our history, we elected a Republican lieutenant governor. Ron Ramsey, the senator from Upper East Tennessee, was chosen to be the Speaker of the Senate and therefore the lieutenant governor. Fresh winds are blowing through the Capitol, believe me, because now we have two powers, not just one power, and minds open up and better ideas come forth. So it's all very healthy. We've got a long way to go, though, Nancy. We've got problems in our state that will need to be fixed over many years. Tennesseans still don't earn at a level that they should be earning compared to national averages. Our health system is very severely jeopardized by people who unfortunately don't take good care of themselves. We have more roads to build, we have better bridges to build. There are many things that need to be done to serve our state and to keep us in competition with all these states around us who are working so hard.
I'd be remiss if I didn't talk to you a little bit about the fact that we are in a presidential election year. You have worked with several presidents. There's a lovely picture of you, Ronald Reagan, and Gerald Ford in the book. I know you have encountered Jimmy Carter when he was governor, even George Bush when he was Republican
chairman of the executive committee.
Correct. You know a little bit about these people and what it takes to be president. Anybody standing out for you at this point? What do you think of the race?
Well, obviously, I'm a little biased toward the Republican side because I believe with all my heart that, in essence, it represents a more conservative, common sense approach to solving the problems of our nation. I was very enthused at one time about one particular candidate who announced early as a Republican, but my friend Fred Thompson, excuse me, announced that he was going to seek the Republican nomination for president. And I signed on to help Fred. He's a fine man. He was an excellent senator. He has strong convictions about things, much like Ronald Reagan had, I think. One of the things that made Ronald Reagan such a good president was he had deeply held beliefs and positions which permitted all the folks around him to know where they stood relative to where he stood, and that's important. And so I'm helping Fred Thompson. I hope very much Fred's successful. I think our state, our nation will be served well by the kind of courage and vision that he has. And so that's where I am in the presidential political picture. I think that a number of the candidates on my side are capable of being good presidents. I truly do. And so we'll just have to see how it plays out.
There's an interesting dynamic in the election this year that a lot of the Republican candidates seem to be distancing themselves from the current standing Republican president. The debate that they held just this week, they said his name, the name Bush, was mentioned 4 times in a long, nationally televised debate. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts are that they are reacting to the perceived opinion of the people of America. But you know, I think things are in the process of changing. I personally have never lost faith in the courage and the ability to look into the future that our President, George Bush, has demonstrated. At some point down the road, he's going to be recognized for a person who saw the dangers facing our country and who has led us, regardless of public opinion, the way he believed in his heart we should go. And I think that that as things change in Iraq right now, they're getting better. And they're having this remarkable conference involving the Palestinians and the Israelis. As those things unfold over the next 12 months or so, I believe the attitude of people in this country will change substantially. France now looks on our country with a great deal of appreciation. We've got a new leader in England, Mr. Brown, and he is very much in harmony with what our president sees as the threats. And that's essentially a foreign policy or a national security situation. But if you look at the record closely, and I can't just reel it all off, George Bush has had a positive and a substantial impact on a lot of the things that are important to the American people. And he hasn't had some success in some areas because he has been so radically opposed by the party that's on the outside right now. So it's a mixed bag, but I do believe our candidates will feel much better about our president as this year unfolds, it comes to a conclusion, and the new year starts than they might right now.
In this book, you credit your wife for a lot of your support, a lot of your bravery, and a lot of standing behind you. And there's been a lot of focus in the presidential race on Jerry Thompson and the women behind these men. If Betty were sitting here with us, what do you think she would tell those women?
Well, I think this is a little presumptuous, but in her case, I think I can say it comfortably. She would tell them, the wives of these men, keep on loving your husband. Keep on giving him your faith, your confidence, and your support. As long as you feel in your heart that he's right, stick by him as much as you can. And that's all a man needs. And of course, the women need a husband who will feel the same way about them. Now, that may be a little bit idealistic, but it's also a fact, and I say that based on experience. My wife has been a blessing beyond any words of mine to describe. She's smart, and she has always stood her ground and shown me when I was wrong how I could be better.
I don't doubt that. I've met her. What do you most want people to take? We have just about 1 minute.
Yes,
what do you most want people to take away from reading your book?
I do hope some people will read this book. It's written from the heart. I wrote every single word of it, and it's just a story. In a sense, it's a fantasy that became an idea, that became an objective, and then became a reality, but somewhere in there were dreams. And so I would say to anyone who reads this book, don't stop dreaming, because that's what makes things happen.
Excellent advice. Thank you so much. It is a wonderful read.
Thank you.
And it would make a great gift for any fan of politics or history or anyone that you can think of that's on your Christmas list. You can pick it up at many of the bookstores near you right now. Governor Dunn will be on hand to say hello and sign books at events at many of our local bookstores. For a complete list, you can log on to our website at volstate.edu/InsidePolitics. For all of us here at Inside Politics, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
For more information about the guest on this show, please visit our website at volstate.edu/InsidePolitics.